Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel called English Speaking Asia, where I talk about various topics that are of interest to English speakers as well as English speaking Asians in particular. And one of the things what I want to talk about today is about international relationships and international marriages. So over the centuries and over the years, you're finding a lot of Asians moving to Western English speaking countries and becoming assimilated and living a life in those countries. And as a result of that, a lot of English-speaking Westerners are also traveling to Asia and establishing life there as well. So increasingly you're finding that there's a lot of Asians having relationships with white English Caucasian speaking people. And because of this, a lot of the time when a white Caucasian has a relationship with an Asian person, they don't often understand a lot of the different culture and beliefs and social structures that they now have to become aware of. And I get a lot of them ask me questions about, what do Asians do in this regard and that regard. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is relationships. Now, if you're a white Caucasian guy, you've got an Asian girlfriend, or you're a white Caucasian woman and you've got an Asian boyfriend, there are a lot of things that you have to remember, and that is, in the Western world we believe in individualization, whereby the pursuit of individual happiness, having your own beliefs, your own opinions, is very, very important to us. And as a result of that, when we find someone that we like and that we love and we have a relationship with them, those two people, you just do whatever you want, and the whole world really doesn't matter. But, however, when you enter into a relationship with an Asian person, you're actually entering into a relationship with that person's entire family. And getting on well with your spouse's parents is one of the most important things in Asian society. So you found yourself an Asian partner, you love them, you're highly thinking about a long-term relationship in the form of marriage, and after you've established likes and dislikes with your relationship, the next stage is you have to meet their family. Now, when you meet their family, in Asian culture, getting on well with the parents and the grandparents and the aunts and uncles, creating a good impression is really, really important. There are many cases in Asian society whereby two people really love each other and they're very compatible, but when it comes to the stage whereby the guy meets the girl's parents and the girl meets the guy's parents, if either one of them do not have a good relationship with their spouse's parents, a lot of relationships just simply fall through. It's very important. I mean, in a Western society where individual tastes and beliefs are more important, if you meet your partner's parents and you don't get on well with them, well, it's just like, oh, it doesn't matter. We love each other and that's the most important thing. But in Asian society, say for example, if you're meeting my parents don't like you, there's a good chance that my parents will do everything in their power to ensure that the relationship is broken up, because relationships between the in-laws is very important in an Asian society. Now, if you want to create a good impression with your soon-to-be, hopefully, in-laws, if you're a guy, the most important thing is financial stability. It's not uncommon that, for example, if you're a guy and you've got, say for example, a Chinese, Vietnamese, or a Japanese girlfriend, if you go and meet the girlfriend's parents, one of the first questions which the mother will ask you is, do you have a house? Do you have a car? What's your job? And how much money you make? Now, in Western society, we think this is very abrupt, this is kind of rude, and it is really, too personal to ask. But the thing is, financial stability is very important with any Asian family. And if you do not have enough money to support your future partner and your children, then in many cases that's a big no-no with an Asian family. So when you go to meet, for example, your girlfriend's parents, who happen to be Asian, one of the most important things that you must do is you must bring a very expensive present. Now, it can be in the form of, like, say, for example, a box of very high brand chocolates and flowers for the mother, a bottle of wine or whiskey or some expensive alcohol for the father. Okay? Now, it's not uncommon that, for example, the children will live with their parents and with their grandparents. So if there happen to be grandparents living within the household, then you've got to give presents for them as well. Okay? Now, the reason why is you have to show them that, hey, look, I've got a good career, I'm making a lot of money, and I have enough money to be able to support my partner and my future children. It also shows that you're a generous person, that you're a responsible person if you can remember to bring them a present. I mean, in a lot of cases with a Western family, if I go to visit, say, for example, my girlfriend's parents, and I don't bring a present, it really doesn't matter. But in an Asian family, bringing a present shows that you have financial independence and that you're responsible. So very important. If you have a relationship with an Asian partner, make sure that you bring presents. But if it's the case, for example, whereby you're a Caucasian woman and you have an Asian boyfriend, well, if you don't bring presents, it really doesn't matter, because in a Asian society, a man's financial independence is very important. But if a woman doesn't, like, have a job or anything like that, it doesn't matter, because to them, Asian families can sort of be a bit biased and think that the place of the woman is in the household looking after children. So be very, very mindful of that Asian cultures are very traditional.